Thank you for stopping by to watch my video. I'm Fred, the Underground Natural Health Informant. I'll be your guide, showing you how to make magnesium bicarbonate. Most people are magnesium deficient, and that can have very serious consequences regarding one's health. Magnesium bicarbonate is a superior, highly absorbable form of magnesium. First, I want to briefly tell you about the new expanded second edition of my book, Get Unplugged from Modern Medicine. It has a wealth of very important information that your doctor will never tell you about that you really do need to know. It's available as an ebook and paperback from many online sources. Later in the video, I'll show you how to use this magnesium bicarbonate concentrate. You can literally transform soft water into a great tasting healing elixir. It improves the taste of your drinking water. Okay, let's take a quick look at the chemical reaction that will be taking place. We will be converting magnesium hydroxide from milk of magnesia into magnesium bicarbonate with seltzer water. We will be adding 80 milliliters of unflavored milk of magnesia to about 59.6 fluid ounces of seltzer water. You will need a 2-liter bottle of fully chilled seltzer water and a bottle of fully chilled, unflavored milk of magnesia. You will also need one of these options to accurately measure the milk of magnesia and a 1-cup measuring cup for measuring the seltzer water. Okay, let's head into the lab and make things happen. Okay, here we are. We've got our unflavored milk of magnesia and 2 liters of seltzer fully chilled. Okay. The milk of magnesia needs to be unflavored. I like this brand because it comes in a large 26 fluid ounce size, which is quite economical. And like I said, you need unflavored. In most cases, unflavored means original flavor. Okay. As for the seltzer, I highly recommend 2 liters. It gives you more bang for the buck and for your labor that's involved. And you may have to look at an independent grocery store to find it. Some of the large chain stores do carry it, but in some cases you have to go to an independent grocery store to find it. Okay, now the milk of magnesia needs to be measured accurately. A shot glass will usually work okay. You want a 3 to a 5 fluid ounce capacity. And it needs to be marked off. If you plan on doing this on an ongoing basis, I highly recommend a tall form glass beaker with a spout like this. They're not all that expensive and they work great. If you're going to be doing this on a regular basis, invest in one of these. Okay, now milk of magnesia is a suspension and settling always occurs. So it's very important to shake it. Shake it well. Once you shake it up, you're good for at least 5 minutes, I'd say. But after it sits, it will settle out. Okay, now you need to pour out 80 milliliters. And in case your measuring device is only shows fluid ounces, that's about the same as 2 3/4 fluid ounces. Okay, the next step is to pour out just slightly more than 1 cupful of seltzer. Then you pour in your 80 milliliters of milk of magnesia. Okay, we poured out just a little bit extra here. And let me show you why. I'm going to trickle just a little bit of this seltzer in here. I trickled it in over the path where it poured out, and now I'm going to swirl it around. This will remove most of the residue because milk of magnesia is kind of thick and it coats. Okay, now I pour that in, cap it. I've got about 1 cupful net of seltzer that's been removed. Cap it and shake thoroughly. Put a little energy into it. Shake it for about 20 seconds. Okay, and then set it on the counter and leave it out and come back in 15 minutes. If you go a couple minutes over, that's okay. Okay, we'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, now it's been about 15 minutes and we're going to shake it extra good. Oh, the bottle is starting to collapse. Continue to shake it. For a good 10 seconds after it collapses. Okay, you can see it did collapse pretty good there. Okay, then open the cap, let the air in, and then just shake it once or twice. Okay, set it down. If it does not collapse after shaking it for about 20 seconds, then just set the bottle down, come back in 2 minutes. It only takes 2 minutes, and then when you come back to it and shake it, it will collapse, I guarantee it. Okay, and then that completes this step. We'll come back, we'll set the timer for about 15 minutes and come back. And if it's just a little more than 15 minutes, a few minutes over, that's okay. Okay, we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Now it's time to shake it again. The second time, sometimes it collapses very little where you can barely tell. Other times it'll collapse a fair amount. This time it did collapse, and I'm going to shake it for about 10-12 seconds after it first collapsed. Collapsed a little more than they usually do for the second go round. Okay, so I'll let the air in. Okay, that's pretty much it. It's nice and clear. There's no residue inside. This is pretty much finished. The only thing I recommend is put it in the refrigerator, let it sit a few hours or overnight, and then shake it one more time before you actually use it, because it may collapse just a tiny bit more as the chemical reaction just finishes up the last little bit. And this should have a good shelf life in the refrigerator, unused probably 3 weeks. Once you start using it, it should last a full 2 weeks. If you make it too strong with too much milk of magnesia, you may find magnesium carbonate crystals starting to grow in the bottom. That's not good. Making it this way leaves just a little bit of carbonation still in the water that helps preserve the magnesium bicarbonate, which is a good thing. Okay, you may want to write the date on top on the cap. If this seems difficult or complicated after you do it a few times, it's real easy. It becomes very easy. And actually, it's good to make several bottles at a time, probably, while you're at it, because it's not that much more effort to make several at a time. I usually make about 4 at a time, but I give a couple away. Okay. Here are some milk of magnesia facts for review. 80 milliliters of milk of magnesia has 6,400 milligrams of magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is about 41.7% elemental magnesium. That means that the finished product will have 2,667 milligrams of elemental magnesium. We start with the 2 liters of seltzer, pour out 8 fluid ounces, then pour in the 80 milliliters of milk of magnesia. This adds about 2.5 fluid ounces of water, which leaves about 62.1 fluid ounces volume in the finished product. If we take 2,667 milligrams magnesium and divide it by the finished volume of 62.1 fluid ounces, we get about 43 milligrams of elemental magnesium from magnesium bicarbonate in each fluid ounce. For therapeutic use, a good starting point is to divide your weight in pounds by 22. Try using this amount in fluid ounces for daytime use, diluted with distilled, soft, or purified water. Distilled or soft water usually works best. For most adults, that works out to be somewhere between about 6 and 9 fluid ounces, which is about 260 to 390 milligrams of magnesium. Blend your day's drinking water the night before in a large container or jug like this one. Pour in your concentrate, then top up with water to drink the next day. Sip on your drinking water through the day between meals. Finish it up shortly before supper. Remember, it's best to drink nothing at all with meals. Adults should also take 1.5 to 2 fluid ounces of the concentrate in one shot shortly before bed. Magnesium really is nature's true miracle mineral. Here's the laundry list of benefits to expect from this enriched drinking water. Dr. Mark Serkis refers to this type of magnesium as the ultimate mitochondrial cocktail. Most manufacturers of milk of magnesia now use a trivial amount of sodium hypochlorite in their product as a preservative. I prefer to neutralize this chlorine with vitamin C powder. To do this, simply add about 1/32 teaspoon of vitamin C powder to the small bottle of milk of magnesia, or 1/16 teaspoon to the large 26 fluid ounce size, and shake well. Then allow it to sit for at least 1 day before placing it in the refrigerator. I hope that you've been blessed by this video. Remember, you really do need to get unplugged from modern medicine. Don't forget about the new second edition of my book, Get Unplugged from Modern Medicine. It has a wealth of great information to improve your health and longevity. Tell your friends. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.